to prevent a unprecedented default on the country's debt. As part of the negotiations, though, lawmakers may look to cut the costs. Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy have vowed to keep the changes to Social Security and Medicare off the table. But the House Republicans have called for cuts to the program, like raising the retirement age or changing the way the annual Social Security COLA is calculated. Now, those changes may not be included in the debt ceiling negotiations, but it's possible, because efforts to create commissions to examine the programs may move forward as part of a deal, which has set off a vigorous debate. And that would include Social Security pension disability, Medicare Part A, highway trust funds, and things like that. Social Security's trust funds are projected to pay full benefits until 2035, at which point just 80% of the monthly checks will be payable. Because Medicare's Part A trust fund will cover hospital care, it's projected to pay benefits fully until 2028, at which point 90% of benefits will be payable. Because another bill, the Bipartisan Social Security Commission Act, would seek to form a temporary commission to address solvency of the program's funds under the expedited procedures. Whether such committees are going to be necessary to shore up the trust funds is a topic of fierce debate among the experts. But one thing I know for sure is that Joe Biden can do something for the people. He can't get the stimulus out there if he wants to.
Jobs, they're real jobs, man. It means we created more jobs in 2 years than any presidential term in American history. Not just created, but you created it. You did it. The unemployment rate of 3.4%, as I said, is a 50-year low. 800,000 manufacturing jobs.
She now qualifies for a $1,400 check. With the first two rounds of checks, it didn't matter if you were struggling to pay your own way through college, as long as you were claimed as a dependent and were aged 17 to 21, no stimulus for you. Couple of catches. One, the money goes to mom and dad, not you. And two, if they earn more than $160,000 a year combined, you still won't qualify.
Everybody, Joe Biden is taking action for the people. He's urging that companies lower their prices for everyday necessities. He also said that for gas and groceries, things need to be cheaper. So, President Biden also is trying to pursue higher taxes on oil companies and their profits, as if the industry giants do not work to cut gas prices. Joe Biden has criticized oil companies that have made record high profits. It comes as consumers struggle to keep up with high gas prices. According to AAA, today the price of a gallon of gas was $3.76, down from a record of over $5 in June, but still higher than a year ago. And when asked about the gas companies, Biden said it's time for these companies to stop their money and food to eat at the higher rates than those in states that continue to distribute the additional SNAP benefits. 1 in 4 households in the 32 states impacted by the policy change are reporting that either sometimes often do not have enough to eat. For some households that received benefits up until the program's termination, the policy change has major implications. For instance, a family of 4 with a net monthly income of $2,000 received $940 more in SNAP benefits this year compared to the previous crisis. And with the end of the emergency allotments, that family is now receiving $600 less a month. In total, roughly 32 million people are receiving smaller monthly SNAP payments, which is so much bad for American people. Other changes to SNAP include eligibility requirements. Republicans have passed a bill that would raise the age limit from 50 to 56 years old for the work requirements, and also that affect qualification for SNAP benefits too. But there is little chance that the bill will pass in its current format, with the Democratic-controlled Senate and President Biden already signaling that he would veto any spending cuts to the debt ceiling increase. In an effort to reach some kind of compromise, though, rules around the SNAP program could be adjusted in future years. This past Friday's better than expected jobs report defied interest rate hikes again that are aimed to slash inflation by cooling the economy. Instead, the U.S. added around 250,000 jobs in April, making a slight decline from an average of 290,000 over the previous months. And now government data showed that the job gains did not occur evenly across sectors. Some industries posted blockbuster expansions, while others lagged far behind. The sector that featured the most job gain covers a wide-reaching set of positions, referred to as businesses and professional services, which includes attorneys, accountants, managers, and computer engineers. The sector added 43,000 jobs last month, nearly doubling an average of 25,000 jobs gained over the previous 6. The major expansion arrives despite high-profile layoffs in the media and tech industries. Healthcare, an industry that is showing job growth in recent months, continued at a blistering pace in April, and according to experts, the performance in this industry owes a large part to the aging population. Roughly 17% of Americans are 65 years or older. Folks, it is a great time for Joe Biden to do one thing, and that's to send out the fourth stimulus payments. Because higher prices have made it difficult for Social Security, everybody. Higher prices have made it difficult for the SSA in getting ready to make direct payments. New research from the Senior Citizens League shows that rising costs means beneficiaries have lost 30% of their buying power since 2000. To be able to live well on Social Security benefits, today retirees need an extra $500 a month, and that doesn't come easy. Social Security's COLAs have increased 78% since 2000. At the same time, the cost of goods and services that retirees typically buy has gone up by 141% over that time. This year's loss in buying power, measured from January 2000 through February 2023, improved a 40% decline based on last year's study. Yet the current 36% loss in buying power is still one of the deepest losses recorded. It only makes sense for Joe Biden to do more for the American people in sending out stimulus checks. Do you guys? Folks, we got a lot of information about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SDI. Continue watching this video because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. Joe Biden has a lot to give. Now, I believe he can send out the fourth stimulus check. Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden will meet Monday to resume talks on how to avoid a catastrophic debt default. Even today, Joe Biden met at the White House, and he's meeting with Republican leaders to move their extreme positions to achieve bipartisan consensus on the fourth stimulus payment. But so far, time is running out. Cash continues to drain out the U.S. Treasury Department, and according to the latest Treasury update, the Treasury General account fell to $57 billion. That's the lowest in a long time. Now, this new low is actually lower than it was 2 years ago. And for the past couple of months, Janet Yellen has reaffirmed her warning that the government will run out of money. And once the government runs out of money, that means no stimulus payments. So Joe Biden must solve the issue right now in Congress. And the issue is this: the lawmakers have butted heads over Republicans' push for several provisions. One is the work requirement for government-funded programs like Medicaid, and one is for the SNAP benefits. For many Americans, a medical emergency can lead to a financial crisis. And this means one thing: Medicare for all. Bernie Sanders is saying that the current healthcare system in the United States is totally broken. And with the House and support of Democratic representatives, it's possible for Bernie Sanders to get that problem solved. Folks, there are improving new relief. The lawmakers are passing a bill that provide many low-income households with extra financial assistance. These relief programs are being funded through the American Rescue Plan Act.
For weeks, we have been talking about the price of gas, and we've been feeling it, but some relief could be on the way. House Democrats want to give you some money to help with the sticker shock. The proposal would send an energy rebate of $100 per month to individuals, or $200 for couples, plus $100 for each dependent for each month the national gas price.
So good news, the more states have finally decided to approve more financial assistance to the low income. States like Tennessee and Georgia have approved bonus payments for some residents. These payments may be worth as much as $500.